It ends up, when you do communism right, it works perfectly and everyone loves it.
And it only took 200 million starving to get here.
That's less than half as many as we thought.
There has been another terrorist attack with 33 dead. The American government has decided not to do anything about it since we probably deserved it.
It sure is great that abortion is now free and available for everyone everywhere.
Yeah, but it's too bad that there aren't any babies to abort since we outlawed being a heterosexual.
Murdering those families was wrong, but you're an immigrant and you probably just didn't know any better. Plus, we shut down all prisons. You're free to go.
This is wrong! You need to lock him up!
How dare you question our compassion? Execute that man immediately! I found more letters we need to add to the acronym.
It's already so large it's throwing off the rotation of the Earth. If we add any more letters, we'll die.
Then we die!
Everyone just stay in line and walk through the scanner. It's going to check how dark your skin is to see how many benefits you get. If I were you, I wouldn't bother.
The U.S. has run out of money.
Can't we just murder more billionaires and confiscate their wealth?
There are no more left. I'm afraid someone in our country is actually going to have to get a job and work.
Rennie Good was a gifted soul, a writer and a poet and a mother. Wow, she tried to hit an agent with her car. Oh no, pop motherfucker, now she's gone. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Being a fucking liberal is a mental disease. Blue-head and fuckables with the septum ring. You are not a hero, you're a fucking disease. You fuck around and find out it's what it is. Jeffrey Pretty was a Jewish homo. Started talking shit to protect a chomo. He was getting nicked when he pulled a gun. Bam, motherfucker, now you're gone. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Being a fucking liberal is a mental disease. Blue-haired and fuckables with a septum ring. You are not a hero, you're a fucking disease. Fuck around and find out what that is.
Hey guys, welcome to the program. We're going to talk about this culture of chaos. I'm going to try to put a few teaching moments together to help you understand why all of this evil needs evil fuel, and that evil fuel is chaos. Today's program is brought to you by the fine folks at Goldco. I'm asking you, just go to jovanlovesgold.com, fill out the form, and request your free gold and silver kit today. We are going to digital dollars, whether we like it or not. There's going to be an adjustment. We'll all probably get dinged. And you need to understand how gold and silver play a role in protecting you. Not draining your accounts to get gold and silver. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about just a part of your portfolio that you need to know how to get into and how to have, and at least feed your brain. So try that at jovanlovesgold.com. And by the way, many of you who have been dialoguing with us regarding gold and your own land and mining claim and stuff, all that information has started to go out. It's just confirming what you told us first. We got to make sure we get it right, and then the process can begin. On this crap that we're going to be talking about today, you might want to take notes. Folks, you might want to take notes. Remember, chaos is key to all of this. They've got to have chaos. This is why, for a very long time, I've been trying to get you prepped of how to take care of yourself with our books like the Food Forest Bible or Giant Fruit in Small Spaces or No Dig, No Weeding, Gardening. You're going to have to understand, well, reacquaint yourself with maybe growing some of your food again. We are potentially headed for very tough times. They've already tipped their hand of what's going to happen in the midterms. That's why they've been adding votes all this time, right? All this time to Kamala and kind of cross-verifying that crap they did with Biden and that big FU. That's why the audit stuff is so important, right? And isn't it funny that now you're kind of seeing a shift? You're seeing less and less people finally get the message. It's not the machines, it's people, paper, and programs. But now you got this big push deception going on. Well, we found this and we found this and we found this. It's all over the place, folks. It's very simple. President knows that it's mail-in ballots and all that crap. And we got to clean the voter rolls. This is about, we've got to make sure what we're doing is right. Okay, we're going to talk about the culture of chaos. But just for a point, if you're on Rumble, pay attention. There's a little red oval. That's how you can join me right after this program, because I'm headed over to Locals to continue our series on Islam. And I'm going to point out to you the differences, the key differences in Sharia law and U.S. law, and why they're trying to force this. More and more Muslims are getting elected to local offices. Cities are falling. One of the key is the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So, without further ado, let's get to this BS chaos. Share this program right now. We'll get started right after this.
Not fixing 2020 will damn our nation forever. The historic Maricopa County full forensic audit effort processed 20,895,610 digital and forensic images of varying formats, resulted in 208 million individual evidence-proof files. The system processed over 58 billion forensic measurements, resulting in over 2 trillion individual base computations. No hopium, no hype, just hardcore forensic evidence. Please make sure the Maricopa County Full Forensic Audit Archives survive. Donate now. So if you want what happened in the 2020 election fixed, then please donate to protect and secure this historic evidence. We can't do it without you.
Warning. The following program has been rated Gilligaff and is intended for open-minded audiences. If the truth offends you, or if you are allergic to focused intensity, intellectual athleticism, or the occasional F-bomb or even irreverent humor, please switch off now. If your delicate sensibilities need to be worried about or addressed, might we recommend the Underwater Basket Weaving channel to you? Otherwise, sit back, enjoy the wisdom, insight, and wicked sense of humor.
Cut the crap. How many times a day do you want to say that to politicians, the elite, the loony liberals, the fake news media, and the gender-confused, emotional socialist snowflake crowd? Cut the crap is your secret weapon for fighting for our freedoms and our great republic. It all begins with a massive mental enema, freeing you from the toxic news and politically correct views, which constipate your consciousness with stinking thinking. Your host, Jovan Hutton Pulitzer. He's known for calling out politicians and telling them to cut the crap. You've seen him on virtually every television network and listened to him on Coast to Coast Radio. And now he's here to help you learn to fight for America. Culture, race, and American politics. They all have one thing in common. They all need to cut the crap. Now, here's your host, Jovan Hutton Pulitzer.
Okay, we're going to talk about this culture of chaos, and I want to see if you see some of the same things I see and how these things tie together. Bottom line is evil needs fuel. Just like any machine or anything working hard, it needs fuel. Evil needs a particular type of fuel. Hate is one of it, murder, rape, all that other crap. But the main fuel is chaos. Now, when the system can flood you with chaos, then they can also convince you things that are good are, in fact, just a plan of chaos. I know that sounds weird, but when you're seeing chaos break out everywhere, you're seeing chaos be sold and told at all angles in our society, then the news media, which is, this unholy trinity between media, academia, and politics, then they can take things that are actually being done for the good of the country and make it seem like chaos as well. It's all about creating chaos. Now, I know you know what this looks like, but let's just take a look at the general generated types of chaos that the system puts out, because it is designed to divide and conquer and confuse, because in that dividing and conquering and confusion comes chaos. First thing, I'm going to show you a medical training video. Yeah. Here's a little bit of chaos you might not have seen unless you were training to become a doctor.
I'm a lesbian. Everybody knows. I'm in a relationship with a girl, Mary, so it's all good.
So tell me about your relationship.
We've been friends for years. She's a great student. We're looking at colleges together with both of sets of our parents.
It sounds like you and Mary have a great relationship. So different terms mean different things to different people. So tell me, what does the term lesbian mean for you?
It means that I'm attracted to women. It's probably more emotional. I feel like I'm emotionally close with my female partners, and I didn't feel that way when I was dating boys.
Good. And are the two of you sexually active?
Yeah, we are.
So being sexually active can mean different things to different individuals. So tell me what body parts you and Mary are using.
Well, I use my vagina, and Mary uses her penis.
So is Mary transgender?
I can assure you this is not a strap-on. It's a biologically connected appendage.
I'm a lesbian. Everybody knows. I'm in a relationship with a girl, Mary, so it's all good.
So tell me about your relationship.
We've been friends for years. She's a great student. We're looking at colleges together with both of sets of our parents.
It sounds like you and Mary have a great relationship. So different terms mean different things to different people. So tell me, what does the term lesbian mean for you?
It means that I'm attracted to women. It's probably more emotional. I feel like I'm emotionally close with my female partners, and I didn't feel that way when I was dating boys.
Good. And are the two of you sexually active?
Yeah, we are.
So being sexually active can mean different things to different individuals. So tell me what body parts you and Mary are using.
Well, I use my vagina, and Mary uses her penis.
So is Mary transgender?
Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention that. A lot of people don't know. I mean, I'm fine with it. I really do love her.
That's great. Now tell me what you and Mary are doing about birth control.
Well, I was on the pill, but I'm not anymore since I was told I don't have to be since I'm a lesbian. So Mary and I have talked about that, and right now she's on estrogen pills, so it's kind of hard for her to have sex when we do use a condom.
The American Pediatric Society, that is an instructional video of doctors. Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention she's a chick with a dick. Oh, really? This is how this chaos has infiltrated our society. They mask it to look like education. They mask it to look like science, but it is totally designed for chaos. They do it in schools, and in these schools, they also have agents of chaos that do this intentionally.
I'm an elementary school teacher, and I work to make all of my students become transgender. As an educator, it is my responsibility.
Chaos, evil, the devil, all of this has to go after kids. They go further back in the generations to ruin them, so evil can control the future. This is part of how it's done.
I'm an elementary school teacher, and I work to make all of my students become transgender. As an educator, it is my responsibility to form the next generation of world leaders, and I believe that the future of our world rests in the hands of trans youth. At the beginning of every morning, we recite our Down with the System pledge, study trans history, and practice using pronouns that are different than the ones that were assigned to us at birth. If any student ever misgenders another student or refers to themselves as cisgender, they are held back from recess and given additional transgender lessons.
Think about that. You're punished if you don't comply. Isn't that fascism? Anyway, and I know you think that other video with the doctor interviewing the lesbian little girl who loves her girlfriend with a penis. But that was not satire. That was an actual training video, period. And along with this chaos, the goal is to affect as many people as possible and to blatantly take what would normally be against the law and flaunt it in the face of law-abiding people. Here's Los Angeles area on the overpass, on the highway, on the 110. Maybe it's a 110 360. Yeah, it's a 110 360. Yeah, they shut down the highway. Police do nothing about it. They shut down the highway, set off fireworks, shoot guns, and do 360s in the road. Again, another form of chaos. Next in this chaos is you take the weakest part of societies that cannot control themselves, have exceptionally low IQs, are incredibly greedy, have no concern for other people, and those people naturally walk around and create chaos in something as simple as, let's say, getting on a bus. Here's a bus driver in Portugal showing you their invasion of illegals and what a normal day is like. This is painful to watch.
Desculpa, bom dia. É uma tristeza. Não, eu fui atingida na cara. É uma tristeza. Porra, meu! Abriram a céu, rapaz! Querem tanto um lugar que vão ter, meu! Você não tem que pedir desculpa. Não, a senhora ainda foi atingida.
That's just getting on the bus. Something as simple as getting on the bus. No respect, no concern for other people. Very me. What can I get? What can you give me? That's coming to a city near you. And it's coming faster than you think. Now, part of this chaos is also generated by activist judge to basically destroy everything. Here's an exchange you need to watch regarding grilling an activist judge.
Pled guilty to 2 acts of sexual violence.
And then he raped a 17-year-old girl, right?
Again, this case was handled by the state court in Indiana, but
I'm just asking you the facts. Don't stall on me now. Did he rape a 17-year-old girl or not after raping a 9-year-old boy?
I believe that's what he pled guilty to.
Okay, and then he went to prison, didn't he?
Yes, the petitioner was.
And then he came out and he sent child porn, basically adults raping little children, to another sex offender. And he was sent back to prison, right?
The petitioner pled guilty to
Was he sent back to prison?
Well, that case was in the federal system, so...
Was he sent back to prison?
Yes, this time to federal prison.
Thank you. And then he decided to transition, and he became a female and started going by July Justine Shelby. Is that right?
Yes.
And Miss Shelby said, I don't want to go to a male prison. I want to go to a female prison. And the Board of Prisons said, what planet did you parachute in from? You're going to a male prison with this kind of record. And you sent him to a female prison, didn't you? You said that the Board of Prisons was trying to violate Ms. Shelby, former Mr. McLean's constitutional rights, didn't you?
I issued a report and recommendation to the district judge recommending that the district judge transfer the petitioner to a women's facility. The district judge adopted that recommendation.
The Board of Prisons was trying to violate Ms. Shelby's, Mr. McLean's constitutional rights, didn't you?
So I based my decision on the facts that were presented to me in the record evidence.
But it wasn't that your ruling?
I recommended finding that under Estelle versus Gamble.
Why won't you admit that was your ruling? Are you ashamed of it?
I'm not. I'm answering the question. I applied Estelle versus
But
Gamble.
was that your ruling?
My recommendation was that the petitioner's serious medical needs were being denied by keeping her in a men's facility.
A violation of the 8th Amendment, right?
That's correct.
Okay. And how big was Ms. Shelby, Mr. McLean?
I don't have a specific recollection. Your colleague just suggested that she was more than 6 feet tall.
And you told the Board of Prisons, well, she'll be okay. The other women in the female prison will be okay because it's only hypothetical that Ms. Shelby, Mr. McLean would reoffend again after he's already raped a 9-year-old boy and a 17-year-old girl and has been sending child porn through the mail. You said there's no chance he'll reoffend again. Did you say that?
Senator Kennedy, I based my decision on the record.
But am I right? Did you conclude that?
I don't have a specific recollection of that. I did recommend that after finding a constitutional violation.
What were you thinking in saying it's only hypothetical that she would reoffend?
The facts of the case were that the petitioner had last engaged in a contact offense 30 years ago. The petitioner had not engaged in any contact offense. In addition, the medical evidence made clear that for the last 5 years, the petitioner was sober and hormonally entirely a female, and there was no evidence.
The Board of Prisons didn't agree with you. I'm not going to run out of time here. You're really a political activist, aren't you?
I am not, sir.
With your record.
You can see that, again, this is where this culture of chaos rewards those who will just go along with the plan. By the way, I just put that video for you on my Telegram. So it's also in our judicial system. Remember, they need chaos to attack from all angles. I'm going to show you why they need this where you don't see what's important in a moment. Let me show you. Oh, by the way, just remember, as soon as I get off this program, the air here, if you're on Locals, you can, or on Rumble, you can hit that red oval and join me on Locals. I'm doing my 50-part series. I'm going to, in this particular one, detail for you how Sharia law contradicts and goes against U.S. law, but it's still being acted in cities and why they want it. So it's a detailed lesson of the differences you need to know. What I'm talking about right now is the culture of chaos. So I want to show you some of the things that the left allows and promotes and pays for. But if you did it, you'd go to jail. Check this out.
Well, my understanding is that the property owners who have properties there choose just not to rent it at all.
Yeah, kill them. Kill those motherfuckers and murder those motherfuckers in the street. Let the streets soak in their fucking red capitalist bloods, dude.
Now think about that. And so the very first thing you need to understand is there's chaos at the citizen level. They're taking everything around us to make it chaos. Now, the reason they need the saturation of chaos is because you can't focus on things. You might think with these DAs, well, that's Soros at work. Wrong. I told you years ago, go back and audit my programs. George Soros is a puppet, not the man. I told you they will always give you evil to hate on. That's a person who will come out the front, makes a ton of money being evil, and it lets everybody hate on that one person. But it's not that person. That was our money at USAID that was funding Soros. Soros applied it in a method they want and made tons of money. It's just like this guy you just saw, Hassan or whatever his name is, saying that crap. You can hate him all you want, but you're missing the point. He's paid to do that. He's a puppet. They will always give you people to hate because in the chaos, they can misdirect you where it comes from. Now, when you understand we have all of this hate that is coming out of the left, very violent, we're going to kill you, all this other stuff, right? You've got the right also that buys into the crap. Think about how much stuff the right has bought into that they turned into content. Oh, if you have red shoes, you're a pedophile. 7 rays of light, it's a prayer to Satan. All this shit. Synagogue of Satan. Again, doesn't matter if it's coming from a conservative, quote unquote, podcaster or journalist. That's chaos. They need chaos. What the system cannot afford is clarity. Now, the reason the system can't afford you to understand and see through it all and see clarity and want to keep you in chaos is because you can't make adequate decisions about what's going on. And so what I want to do is I want to help you understand all of this chaotic mess going on, what you actually may be really missing because the left is trying to convince you it's chaos. Some on the right are trying to convince you it's chaos and wrong. You follow what I'm saying? Sometimes there are good and noble things going on that will protect our country, will protect other countries, and will safeguard our future, primarily against terrorism and other stuff, that the system, because you're so tuned into chaos, all they have to do is make a short jump. They can take something that's really good, and because optically and word-wise they talk about it, they basically will convince enough people, well, that's chaos too. Let me give you an example. A good example of what we're living in right now, which is a freaking great thing for everybody, is this issue with Iran and the Strait of Hormuz. Now, You see the left spinning it as if we went to war and the president can't go to war and this and that. You see those on the right basically attacking President Trump because they want him out. I want to help you see through the chaos, because the news is only going to talk about it as chaos. You got to remember, your eyes are tuned into chaos. They've even convinced conservative podcasters, well, Trump went to war unauthorized. All they're doing is they have no understanding of what's really going on, and you keep on getting fed chaos after chaos after chaos after chaos of people that really don't know what's going on. Now, what you have when you block the Strait of Hormuz, and I'm gonna give you just something to think about. You make your own decision. You make your own decision. But I want to give you the real facts, okay? The Strait of Hormuz, which we don't really get our oil and fuel from. People don't understand that, okay? We don't really get our oil and fuel from there. But the Strait of Hormuz is, outside of Obama's truckload planes of cash that he sent there in secret in night, the Strait of Hormuz for Iran is basically about their money that would inflow to their country because of it was about $400 to $435 million a day. Many of you forget that Obama flew a plane there overnight, unauthorized. Nobody had anything, and you understand why they did it in cash. They needed American cash so it could be distributed easy and not tracked. Anyway, he went over there with billions. In this action of what's going on, we have, meaning President Trump, our country, to make America great again, has strangled down where that oil came through. So right now, Iran is hemorrhaging losses of about $435 million a day. $435 million a day. And it only takes a little over 2 1/3 days, and that's $1 billion back on our side, giving them the big FU. So you got to understand the economic war that's going on right now and how it plays to our benefit and why it's so important. Now, all that Iran has left, see, they're only holding on to, they want their nukes, which John Kerry and Obama and all these others, right, were trying to make sure they got, because they want to destroy Israel, et cetera, and it's about terrorism. President Trump's not playing that game. So the only card that Iran has, after 48 years of threatening to kill us and attacks, all they have is this strait. And in closing off this strait, President Trump has choked off 95% of the shipping levels. 95%. Now, what's going on right now is they're playing a cat and mouse game. They just sent back okay, we'll agree to this, which completely takes everything out we need. Why do they do that game? Because that game worked for 48 years. All news will tell you is, well, they want peace and they've agreed to a peace agreement. They'd be like, in our peace agreement, you send us money, you pay for everything, we can kill you, you can't prosecute. That's the kind of bullshit peace agreement, right, that they're doing out there. So just recently, all this traffic fell. What you don't hear and what people don't talk about, because they only focus on the chaos, that this is a war. This is not a war. This is cutting off terrorism dollars. We are not at war with them. They are at war with us. President Trump is doing what's right to cut off the money to terrorism. At the White House, they know this is coming. They know the sleeper cells are here. I've already told you that. We've done the math. but they need that money stream to do it. Now, what has happened is you're going to see very quickly our gas prices are going to come back down. Sorry, it's uncomfortable, folks, but this is a big play to get our freedom back. Do you want $2 at the pump today, or do you want a free and safe freaking America, and it might take a few months to do? That's the choice. Don't go for the short term. You got to, and unfortunately, we're all going to suffer. This is the way it is. So they've been at war with us for a long time. So all of their economic interests have been blocked. Okay? We have now blocked from them. It's pushing 3 times what Obama gave them of our cash. Yeah, so Obama, what was it, $1.4 billion in cash? President Trump's now kicking their ass 3 for 1. Okay, great. We'll get that right back. All of these, right? All of these do it. And you're right. Diesel's at $6.20. That sucks, but it's worth it for our future and our freedom. It's just the way it is. We feel it in our family farms every day of what you got to fill up the tractors and all the equipment. It costs a lot, but it's worth our future at the moment. Now, we've already gotten back 3 to 1, 4 to 1 of what Obama did. However, you have to understand that the single largest importer of oil, the single largest importer of oil in the world is who? And you're right, Laura, this is temporary pain for permanent gain. Freedom is not free. I'm showing you how all this chaos gets you on edge and rides the roller coaster. It's all screwed up and we hate everybody, right? But they also need that chaos to convince you that things that are being done right are also chaos, because it's easy just to do a layover. Who is the number one importer of oil, meaning they have to bring oil in? Do you know? China. See, what you don't understand underneath this, our single biggest threat with all of this, terrorism threat, is Iran. But what is going on the technology front, on the tariff warfares and everything else, it's China. Most people don't understand that 90% of the oil that goes through Iran goes to China. Now, let's do simple calculation. 95%, we don't get our oil there. 95% of this Strait of Hormuz chokehold oil stopped. So let me ask you a question. Who's not getting oil? Us? No, doesn't affect us. In fact, it was very funny the other day, big equipment. We're still cleaning up family places from Helene and stuff. Finally get into the last vestiges of it. I'm at the local place where you get your diesel oil for farms. It's red diesel versus green diesel. And the owner there was there and I was coming in to pay. And I just kind of made the stupid joke. I never thought I'd come here to make the farm payment. And he just laughed. He says, yeah, it's a mess, isn't it? I said, yeah, but it's going to go down quickly and we're going to be in the great thing. And he says, you're exactly right. I said, those ships are coming to us. And he says, wow, I haven't run into anybody that actually knows what's up. And I said, well, it's true. This is a good thing, right? Well, you got to understand, China's not getting their oil. China's not getting their oil because of Donald J. Trump. Iran supplies 90% of its oil to China. By the way, you know what Iran also does that nobody else in the world does? You know, our oil destiny is not set by us. It's set by the Oil Producing Economic Council, OPEC, right? They set the oil prices. They sit and make tons of money. You probably don't know under the radar. Do you know what Iran does that you're not supposed to do? They discount the oil to China. So China gets their oil cheaper than anybody else in the world. This is what props up China's economy. They're buying oil much cheaper than everybody else in the world. This has been this BS competitive advantage, and this is why China helps these Middle Eastern nations. It's all to collude against the United States of America. Well, people don't understand that. So the countries that are really suffering in this process are not us as Americans. We whimper because, gas prices are up. I can't stand it. It's horrible. When I hear somebody says, well, I don't like President Trump because the gas up, and he told us, President Trump cannot drop gas prices. That's not how it works. You are living in a mythical world if you think President Trump can wave his wand and it drops gas prices. It is not how it works. But what is really going on, because, see, you're sold on the chaos. They want people pissed at the pump. They want to tell you that that's what it's about. You should be pissed at the pump. President Trump's not making America great again. Well, here's the deal. Iran, the number one country that is importing terrorists to our country to destroy us, where a lot of the Islamist fascists are coming from, right? Period. And China, who wants to dominate everything and take it over. Those are the two getting their asses kicked. Does news talk about this? Does news talk about that terrorism is down around the globe because Iran can't make its payments to the terrorist group? I just want you to think about that. You never understand the cause and effect. Terrorists are still driven by greed. Yeah, they're going to get dumb Islamic kids to go blow themselves up. But do you think they do it for free? Hell no. They sit back in all their groups and they rake in millions. And they have to keep that process up. Because if all of a sudden they do it for free, well, then terror becomes useless because everybody will just blow themselves up. And that's not the way it is. That's not the way it is. It's all still driven by money. And when you understand this news psyop, and you understand even the Republican psyop, they want you to focus on the chaos to think it's falling apart. But it's not. It's not. Do you know that in the China import of oil from Iran, it pays for the entire operation of Iran's government? What do you want to happen in Iran? You want the government to fail. When you look at it economically, who actually pays the bulk of the cost of running Iran? China. And what China does business with them. And now China can't do business with them. This is where, for part of it, you have to understand the geopolitical stuff. And yes, farmers are waiting to plant crops because they can't get fertilizer and they're waiting for it to come down. That's also part of the con. They outlawed making of fertilizers because the environmental lesbian one-eyed pink-toed frog butterfly might get hurt. That was all to control us. And now where are we in this process? When we have all of these reserves in the United States and ability to make our own, it's all shipped over to China and other stuff because they won't let us make it here. Under the premise of environmentalism, they actually have a stranglehold on our agriculture, which forces our feed prices up. This is how it works in all of these little machinations. And a lot of this is done in the cover of environmentalism, right? A lot of it is done under the cover of environmentalism. What they keep you distracted with is all the chaos. Now, financially right now, Iran is pretty much destroyed. President Trump has to go to the wall right now. Does that mean nuking the people of Iran? No. Right now, even the clerics are revolting against the government in Iran. They're going to do it themselves. That's the pressure point. That happens. Well, it's not fair to the people of Iran. Hey, folks, what do you think they're fucking doing to us? They pressure point us. We complain, oh, Trump's bad because I had to pay $1 more for gas. He's bad. He's got to get out of here. He didn't deliver. It's pressure points. It's how it all works. You see it as chaos. It is not chaos. It's the opposite. It is the inconvenience of making sure we have freedom, and it's going to be inconvenient for a little bit. Nobody likes it. You don't have to like it, but you have to understand what's going on. So the single largest state tariff sponsor is over. It's basically gone. We've got to stay this through. Their economy is destroyed. When this government gets out, which will happen, you got to understand Iran is going to go back to being a free country they were 47 years ago, 48 years ago, and they're going to thrive, and they're going to be one of the greatest partners in the world, not only to the United States of America, but keeping the peace globally. Right? Globally. Iran has always been mismanaged. At many times during their government, they've had 40% inflation. 40% inflation. Now, this is a cause and effect of having a captured people. Remember, their single largest expense is the government, because they need everybody on the payroll to keep everybody covered up and everybody in the blind under the lie that you're doing this because it's holy. Many things are falling with this. Many things are falling with this. OPEC may go around, right? And you're right. There are hot Persians. True, there's beautiful women there. So you got to understand what Iran is losing. Billions. And we're picking it up because they're floating their ships to the United States of America to pick it up. Now, with this collapse of oil from Iran, the one that's actually getting hurt the most, okay, is China. Now, what has happened in China, China has two things going on. They have hyperinflation now. They can't keep up with it. China's in a bad way. They're running out of money. But all the ripping off they do in the black markets, you know, doing cheap-ass products, or it's 50% rice and 50% softened plastic pellets, and they're selling it. All of their black markets are crumbling as well. When you think of China, where everything got sent for manufacturing, yes, it affects electronics. Yes, it affects machinery and other stuff. They are getting hammered on trade. They don't want to pay the trade deficits they owe us. You saw Congress, we can't do that. He can't raise their prices. Trump did it anyway. It's happening naturally right now with the Strait of Hormuz down, because China's paying through the yoo-hoo just to try to keep up. Now, when they're trying to keep their manufacturing going, which is China struggling to do right now, because China manufactures for the world, what are they not investing in? What are they not investing in? Have you figured it out yet? They're not investing in their armies. China right now, which has done all this spending on their military, even manufacturing synthetic islands in the ocean to try to force Taiwan and try to force this. Here's the deal. Both Iran can't reinvest in their army. China's in a specific issue where they can't reinvest in their army because they're trying to keep everything going. Now, there is a little bit of buffer, as I understand it. There may be 1.2 to 1.39 million barrels. That's only 3 to 4 months of imports that Iran may be holding. That's what comes next. If Iran keeps pushing the buttons, then President will take out their stronghold. Okay? Russia tries to supply this. Russia supplies about 20% over land. Won't happen. So yes, we're going to suffer a bit. They're not out on the ship, but we're all in this war. China is facing its single largest poverty woe ever, combined with weak demand ever, combined with export slowdowns ever, with fuel going through the roof. The one that is truly in this eyesight, in this sighting device, is China. What you saw when it came to tariffs, our own government and everybody bitched about. Why? Because Chinese paying these government officials to bitch and moan and file lawsuits. You can't do that. You can't make China make up. You know what a trade deficit is, right? If we pay them $10 billion and they only pay us $1 billion in trade, there's a $9 billion trade deficit. You get it? You want to try to get it equal to zero if you can do it. You're sending them as much they're paying for as they're sending to you. This is where it's paying off. China right now has said that when it comes to Iran, we're going to stay neutral. Now, do you know why they're going to stay neutral to Iran? Because, see, we're already strangling their economy. We've already strangled their oil. If China made any retaliatory moves, then President Trump would get the trade deficit passed, and China would hemorrhage more. Do you get it? Now, the system tries to sell every one of this. We're at war. He declared war. It's all bullshit, folks. This is 100% about defending America and making sure we, America first, and that's why the right is selling you, Trump's not MAGA anymore, not make America great again. I didn't vote for this. Well, let me put it as it is. Cover your words. I'm going to cuss. You're a fucking idiot. Because you don't even understand when we're winning. The GOP relies on that. And that's why you saw them turn on everybody, right? The Candace stuff, the Tucker stuff. When did it really intensify? When President Trump says, I'm not taking this stuff anymore. The system wants to convince you this is chaos. This is not chaos. In fact, this is very organized, very well thought out. The right message that we have to send the world, okay? And two countries that are an incredible risk to us, the two countries, Iran and China. Russia doesn't give a shit about us. Russia's, in my book, a synthetic foe that they propped up forever. Putin wants to run his damn country, leave me the fuck alone. That's what I personally believe. But the two that make threats and intonations that they want to destroy our country, Iran, China. What is being inflicted is incredible economic pain and losses that both of those countries are suffering through. Now, let's say we get this pushed through. Do you also understand in doing this, cutting Iran making $435 million a day and strangling China's economy, what's also something that doesn't happen? The fucking bought off politicians stop getting their payments too. This is about the money. It's just like Dr. Oz and the hospices, right? The hospices. The second largest concentration of hospices are in Los Angeles, the county. Forget the state, just the county. They basically stopped sending checks to 435 of them and say, we don't believe you're a real business. And not a single one has complained. Not a single one. Why have they not complained? Because they know they were illegal. That same money that President Trump is cutting off, $435 million a day for Iran, and the hurt that China's going for, also keeps that money from funding terrorism, keeps that money from undercutting the United States of America. And by the way, the bullshit politicians, they stopped getting their checks too. What are they going to do? I'm going to tell you better send me my $1 million a month or I'm going to bust. You think that's going to happen? Hell no. Every one of them are being strangled. Now, why can't you see it? The reason you can't see it is because the system sells chaos. If you were to go back and you look across social media like we do, and you look across news stories, the moment President Trump decided, screw this, we're going to go after Iran, what happened? Tucker flares up, Candace flares up, Megyn Kelly flares, boom, 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 boom. All these people come out, I think Trump's lost it, MAGA's dead. Track it. You can track it to the freaking hour. You can track it to the day. They need that chaos to convince you that President Trump has embroiled us in further chaos, and they need you worn out. So you say, fuck it, I need this to go away. And you'll bitch about another $1 or $2 at the pump. President Trump's playing the long game. But unfortunately, we live in the culture of chaos. I just wanted to bring to you the true story of why this is important, what's going on. And I've always told you, I know trying to convince kids to be transgender is horrific. I know all of that crap. But what's more important right now is either we save America or America dies. There's no party in that. There's no little bitty thing. Yes, child trafficking is horrible. They're always going to catch one, just like in elections. It's going to be the news story. Folks, it's all bullshit, psychological warfare. We must stay the course that America wins. All of that has to do with our elections and focusing on what will fix them and not bullshit from other countries. All of that is smoke and mirrors. They infiltrated our system. We know how they do it. Simple thing is, if you just look at the motor voter rig, here are the states that allow motor voter registration. What's the first thing they tell illegals? Well, you got to go register. You got to go register. And then it's automatic motor voter. Those are the states that approve it. It's all the ones that wag us and all the ones that are being fought for. Here are the states that don't. But people don't understand it at its core. It is all warfare. And by the way, if you want to learn more about this warfare that is on our shores and going to get worse, join me next over at Locals. I'm going to continue my 50-episode series on breaking down Islam. This one's going to be Sharia law versus U.S. law. Do not miss it. It is paramount you understand how all of this works, folks. Because as I've always told you, my job is to make you the smartest patriot in the room. But if you don't understand how the system does it to you, you can't defend against it. And this all looks like chaos right now. We are actually setting in good times. We're actually setting in smart times. Now more than ever, pray that President Trump stays the course. I'll see you over at Locals next.
Our courts are based on clear and convincing evidence. Want convictions? Want justice? For what happened in the 2020 election? Then we need your help. Not fixing 2020 will damn our nation forever. The decision you make in the next few moments could decide whether we ever get our elections fixed or not. Here's why. Trump campaign and allies filed 64 different lawsuits. They all went down in flames. 100% of these cases were presented on "It's the machines," or "The machines changed the votes," or "The voting company executive said he would make sure Donald J. Trump would not win." They all went down in flames. Why? You can't bring theories to court as evidence. No supposed Zoom call or six-degree polynomial math theory or census data is or ever will be proof of fraud. You can't bring theories to court as evidence. Here's why. In both civil and criminal law, the side making a claim carries the burden of proof, and prosecutors must prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Without physical or otherwise verifiable evidence, a case cannot meet this high threshold. Physical evidence is the key. The question is, did anyone get relevant, reliable, provable, testable, and duplicatable evidence of what really happened in the 2020 general election? And the answer is yes, absolutely. The full forensic audit of Maricopa County, Arizona is the only evidence-gathering work which gathered relevant, reliable, provable, testable, and duplicatable evidence of what really happened in the 2020 general election. Evidence so damning that the system, the deep state, and those who pull the strings of this country have fought to keep it hidden and have hoped to have it be forgotten to time. Almost $3 million invested in time, funds, and efforts to unlock that which the system wanted hidden. But now, that evidence is in danger of being lost forever. So if you want what happened in the 2020 election fixed, then we need your help. Please donate to protect and secure this historic evidence. With the 2026 midterms coming up, the system is going to try to lame duck President Trump and then most likely introduce new impeachment proceedings. This is the evidence which will help win the war which is surely to come. We need to keep Maricopa County full forensic investigation and archives secure and ongoing. So if you want what happened in the 2020 election fixed, then we need your help. Please donate to protect and secure this historic evidence. We need your help securing the full forensic audit archives. Don't allow the only testable, objective, and reliable 2020 election evidence fall into obscurity. Millions were spent on getting it documented and tested. This is historic evidence. Not fixing 2020 will damn our nation forever. The historic Maricopa County full forensic audit effort processed 20,895,610 digital and forensic images of varying formats, resulted in 208 million individual evidence-proof files. The system processed over 58 billion forensic measurements, resulting in over 2 trillion individual base computations. No hopium, no hype, just hardcore forensic evidence. Please make sure the Maricopa County full forensic audit archives survive. Donate now. So if you want what happened in the 2020 election fixed, then please donate to protect and secure this historic evidence. We can't do it without you. We need you. America needs you. Our future needs you. Please donate now. Not fixing 2020 will damn our nation forever. Please donate now.